Welcome to Talking Beards, an entertainment news podcast all about the facial hair lifestyle and the people who use their beards and mustaches to help change the world. Join your hosts, World Goatee Champion Aaron D. Johnston and two-time National Goatee Champion Scott Sykora as they talk about all the important issues in the community, from charity events, competition news, styling tips, breaking news, and much more. Tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we stream live on all social media platforms as well as talkingbeards.com and answer all of your questions. Join in our chat room and be a part of the show each week as we give away great prizes, compliments of Honest Amish. I am your host, Aaron D. Johnston, and I am Scott Sykora, and we are Talking Beards. Oh, hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Talking Beards. I am your host, Scott Sykora. To my right or left or whatever way we're looking is Matt McClear from Beard Laws. He's going to be filling in. Actually, he's filling in for me because I'm filling in for Aaron on this side. But tonight we're going to be diving a little bit into No Shave November. It's coming up here in a few weeks. We're about halfway through October, and everyone's going to be not shaving for the month of November. And we want to kind of give a little bit of a backstory about the history of it. And we want to also help out some people that might be wanting to go past No Shave November. But like I said, I'm Scott Sykora. Thank you for joining us on Talking Beards. You can find out more information about me by going to @ScottSykora on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Now, I'm not on Twitch, but we broadcast on Twitch. I'm just trying to get into the groove here because I'm used to going second and explaining all the other stuff that Aaron usually explains at the beginning of the show. But you can find us on YouTube and everything. Go check us out at talkingbeards.com. But let's talk to Matt, our good friend who we haven't seen in forever.
It's been so long. I mean, we were backstage trying to catch up, and there just wasn't enough time. But
we were mustarding instead.
Yeah, and I feel like if I don't say "ol," then I'm not doing my job. So, I'm Matt McClear, and I love Beard Ol. And it would be really cool if Natalie and Aaron were watching from the car, and
they are.
Jonathan was watching from the bathtub. That would just make my night. So,
well, yeah. Aaron made me send him a link, so he may be popping on from the car, but he said he was going to be listening as he was driving. So, yeah, as you guys read in the show description, if you guys read in the show description,
they can't read.
Aaron got detained at the Canadian border because he was trying to smuggle maple syrup and hockey pucks back in the United States.
And Ol.
See, Natalie says we are watching from the car. So Natalie and and Aaron are here. We got everyone. Andrew's here. He's hey pairs. We are a pair. Look at us. We got Alan Eckert's here, one of our great boosters on the Fountain app. Once again, smashing us with some great boosts. If you guys are interested in checking out a new podcast app, go to fountain.fm. Have you put Beard Laws on that yet?
No, I didn't know. I just thought there was a fountain of youth. I didn't know there was a fountain of podcasts.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great new app where you can do donations to your favorite podcasts. I'll tell you all about it later, but
awesome.
We got lots of people here. Jonathan Shields is in the bathtub. Can you believe that?
My night has been made. We got Jonathan in the bathtub and Natalie in the car. Life's
Talking
good.
Beard Laws is exciting. Christopher Wilson's here. Greetings from a bowling alley bar in Jasper, Indiana. Wow. When was the last time you went bowling?
Like at a bowling alley or physically bowled, because they're two different things where I come from.
Well, I mean, because we used to hang out at the bowling alley all the time, and I used to be in a bowling league, but so
yeah, both answers a little bit. So yeah,
it would be really cool if we could do a head-to-head bowling Beard Laws versus Talking Beards.
Oh, all right. I'm in, but I get to. So is it going to be Scott and Aaron versus me and one person on my show?
Maybe
because I have one guy that's on my show that's really good at bowling. I'd pick him.
I know Aaron really sucks, and I'm decent, but because then we have to have Natalie, and then we have to have Andrew.
Okay.
So you'd have to put together a good team.
Okay, I have 4. I mean, there's 4 on the show. Logan, I'm not sure he's strong enough to pick up a bowling ball, but I'd still ask him. I'm in. I'm all in. Where would we have to meet? We'd have to meet in the middle point, which isn't a big thing for the Johnstons because the middle point for them is the world.
Yeah.
Apparently, the way that they travel. So I mean, we'd have to, I guess, Google where you are, and Andrew and me, and we'll find a middle point.
Oh,
It's
here we go.
probably Indiana.
Yeah, Christopher Wilson says planning a bearded bowling tournament for mid-July.
Ooh.
We'll make sure that you put that on the beardcalendar.com and send that, because that would be a really cool event for us to cover, especially if you make it a charity event too, which I'm sure you. Why wouldn't
Beard
you?
calendar is an amazing thing. Like, it honestly is. I'm not a guy that hasn't been to a lot of beard competitions, but I love to know what's going on. I check that thing out at least twice a day just to see what's going on.
Just in case to see if Aaron updates it that much.
Well, that, and maybe there's one that's near me because nothing ever happens near me. That's cool.
Yeah.
But,
so let's do a little catch up here, Matt. I mean, so I definitely know the last time we saw each other, it was at Nationals in Scranton, Pennsylvania, which at this point was like forever ago.
Over a year, like 13 months.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it was September of.
I mean, 13 months in 1 week from today. Not that I'm keeping track, but I'm really good at math.
I think you are. Well, you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
See, I'm not good.
It was the last time I've hugged you. It's the last time I've, allegedly had a beer and a shot with you. I mean,
yeah. Well, we had a few of those. So,
yes.
But speaking of which, as we were talking about, like before the show, and this is something that I actually haven't shared with the audience, and I know that there's a lot of people in here who are, but I quit drinking 65 days ago. So, been alcohol free for 65 days. Much alcohol was affecting my life and lifestyle and stuff, and of course wallet. That was like one of the biggest things. But I feel that now that I'm this far into it, like dominoes are falling with like the changes I've made are leading to like better and more gooder things. I know. But yeah, it just seems like there's like more things that are happening that are more positive things. And yeah, it's hey, thanks, Will.
No, in being a guy that's been,
I'm a guy too.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit it too. I mean, there was a long time that I was a complete alcoholic. Some of my best friends were alcoholics, and the relationships that we had of friendship was based around the booze, and really ramping it down. And seeing some of my good friends, and one of my best friends, who's my cousin, he has been sober, I think, over 3 years now, and he was really bad. So I mean, it's not an easy thing to do, and it's. I mean, his life has gotten so much better for us. So congratulations. Honestly, man, to you for giving it up. Hopefully it's a good thing, and those dominoes continue to fall in your direction.
Yeah, I mean, and I want to thank too Aaron and Natalie. I mean, both of them. I mean, Aaron for sure has been sober for over 836 years, and I mean he's been a great influence on me, of course, and not only that, but in the bearding world, and with the show and all that stuff, and.
Yep.
But I'm so thankful to him, and Angela inspired me too, because she quit drinking for over a year, and I was real surprised when we went out one night and she ordered a drink, and I mean, every now and then she'd have a drink, and then we went to a concert. Kyle, thank you very much. And we went out. I drank, and I was just like, you know what? Like the next day, I was just like. Nothing good ever comes from, I mean, seriously, what good ever comes from drinking? I mean, you lose money, you lose sleep, you lose friends, you lose a lot of stuff. And sometimes people just don't know how to, like, I mean, I wouldn't say that I had a problem like shutting it off. I mean, there's been times before where I'd quit for like 30 days, 40 days, 30 days. I mean, and then I'd have like a beer. And then wouldn't drink for like that. But when it becomes like a daily thing, and you just don't really think. See, T had HRD. We're talking about another person who quit drinking. I think what are you at now? Thad? I think you're over a year now.
Oh wow, nice! Congratulations.
Yeah, just another person that I've had conversations with. about quitting drinking and stuff like that. I mean, I've been blessed with having a lot of people in my life. Yeah, 15 months, you
15
said.
months. Nice.
But I've been blessed with having a lot of people in my life, and a coworker of mine just hit 600 days yesterday.
Wow. That's awesome.
And really inspiring. But then on the flip side, I have another coworker who almost died, broke his back, severed his spine, was paralyzed because of drinking and driving, and he's 3 years not drinking, but he had to hit that wall for him to realize that he needed to stop. And I kudos to him for having the courage. And 15 months today, look at that. Today's a good day. T had.
Look at that, Will. 3-year mark sobriety.
Wow, September. That's just great. Yeah, and Andrew Matson, another one who he says there's a whole community of people who made that same decision as you. We're all here if you have questions or need support. I do want to say though, however, one thing that's really funny is it's really not that hard. I mean, for me, I know it's very difficult for a lot of other people, but it's been fairly easy for me. There's been a few moments here and there where it's just like, I'd love to go have a shot in a beer, but I know how to like just not do it. And so, but yeah,
and it's good for the beard growth, honestly, too. Not having the alcohol in your system dehydrating you.
Oh yeah.
And, it's a good thing too. I mean, obviously anything in moderation is a thing, but like you said, nothing good comes from having way too many drinks, whether you're poisonous beer or liquor or anything. It's not good for you, it's not good for your health, and it's not good for anybody around you. And that's one thing that I've learned over the years too, going from my terrible state to, and I'm not 100% sober, but the moderation is a huge thing for me. I mean, I honestly think for me in my life, having a couple and moderation is huge.
Yeah, and I will tell you one other big change that I've noticed is my anxiety levels like completely.
Yep.
And like Josh right here, Josh Kim says the booze ain't fun the older you get either. Yeah, because your body just does not recover as fast as it does when you're in your early 20s. But one of my things is, and I can attest this with you because when we were together last, it's like shot in a beer. We sit and talk and then go our separate ways, come back, shot in a beer. Like we were doing that throughout the whole day. And
allegedly.
Yeah. And a lot of it for me was, I mean, I'm very introverted and I don't like, for me, who's out here every week doing a show, like I'm not really comfortable around large groups of people, being in front of people, talking to people. And like alcohol was always something that kind of like relaxed me enough or eased me into being social.
Yep.
And anytime like I would do like an event or something where I would MC or I had to do public speaking or something, I always had to have a couple drinks to loosen me up. And just like a few weeks ago when we were at Beardapalooza, and that was like a test for me, and it was like that was going to be the first time that I really got up in front of a crowd. And I remember looking over at Aaron, and I'm like, dude, I got to go have a shot in a beer. And he's like, all right. And he actually thought I went to the bar and had a shot in a beer because I made a comment later. I'm like, no, you doofus. I'm like, I didn't drink. I'm like, I quit. I'm like, I'm not going to go do that. But yeah, it really was not that difficult. It was, and I was glad I had my best friend there with me to be on stage, to be able to just kind of work through the whole thing and not think about it because we were just too busy having fun and bantering with each other. And, it kind of just rinsed it away out of my mind and everything. So.
No, it's awesome. Yeah. You're lucky to have such a good dude. And I'm lucky to be filling in I'm filling in for you, who you're filling in for the good dude. So
and I'm filling in for Aaron. So
yeah,
Aaron,
it feels weird being on this side.
I know. I feel weird being on this side too. Whole time I should have been talking like this the whole time. Watching my NASCARs this weekend down in Daytona. But yeah, so anyways, just to kind of move on to some more stuff, but I was trying to, kind of catch up with Matt and everything. But what's been a while since we've had you on the show. What's been going on with you and beard laws? Give us, I mean, as we kind of briefly touched upon 30 seconds before we went live, because it's just been a whirlwind of a day. I know you've been super busy. I was super busy, and then trying to get everything ready for tonight. But oh yeah, Aaron wears glasses. But what's been going on? Oh, sorry, I don't have my glasses to grab, but that would have been funny.
That would have been good. We used to do the poop knife, and now we can just pass glasses because we're getting old. But
yeah.
What's been going on with me? Just kind of the same stuff, just kind of content creation, but more importantly, just kind of, the father life has been super busy for me, coaching youth sports. It seems like, I have kids that are very heavily involved in dance. They're having soccer, basketball. So, continuing to do that. But yeah, the brand itself is just kind of the brand. I've the passion for me and a big thanks goes to you and Aaron. Obviously, the first time that you guys brought me on the show, I realized how much I truly do love doing live shows. So the show has been more of a focus. And as you know, it's not always the greatest revenue stream being following your passion doing a show. But obviously, Triple T, the Beard Law show on Thursday, we've been blessed. I have a very good crew on Tuesday. It's myself, Richie, my buddy Brandon, I'm not gonna say his real name because it's kind of inappropriate to some people, and Toby. And then on the Thursday show, my buddy Logan, who we've been friends forever, local guy. We actually have a local guy, Zach Sweeney, who is now our producer. So we have producer Zach and Brandon J. McDermott and Toby as well on Thursday, where kind of switch from the interview style show to just some newer topics. And it's just at the end of the day, we kind of stepped back and said, hey, let's just continue to have fun. If 3 people watch it, cool. If 1,000,500,000 people watch it, cool too. And it's been a good change. It's a lot of fun, and it's been cool. And not to segue and derail you from the beer drinking, but we've been able to get some new friends of the show.
Hey, well, tell us about that. I mean, this is actually a really cool thing, because I mean, I don't know a lot. I mean, like you said, you've been picking up sponsorships from all these different things, and like, wow, how on earth? And tell us a little bit about that, because this is really cool.
Yeah, for me, it's been a really cool thing, because growing up in one of my favorite beers of all time to ever drink was Genesee. It was Genesee Light. And throughout the thing, there's been some conversations had, and Genesee is actually the official sponsor, the official beer of the Beard Laws podcast and the Beard Laws show and the brand and everything. So going to be creating a couple of YouTube videos that's going to be put out on the Beard Laws channel, doing some cool stuff. A little spoiler alert, actually did a blind taste test of 6 different Genesee products, which I thought I knew really well, but there's something about putting on a blindfold and trying whether it's food or beverages that really throws your palate off. And it's a little bit embarrassing of my errors, but it was pretty fun to do. And just to have them a part of the show and some other cool people has been really cool. And as you can see in the background, I've introduced books. And I'm going to self-admit, I'm not a guy that reads a lot. I don't know if you do or not.
Learned how to read?
Yeah. So this year, in 2022, I had a goal that I want to start reading books. So I've been reading books. And when I read a book, I put it on the shelf.
Natalie says that's pretty cool that you learned how to read.
I'm pretty excited. It's taken me 37 years to learn how to read, but been reading. They're not the greatest of books. There's one, though, that I'm almost done. I can't wait to put on the shelf. It's 400 different Chuck Norris one-liners.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, I guess you'd have to read since you've put out a couple books.
True. Yep. 3 to be exact.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. And a cool calendar that, look at this guy. This is October.
Oh,
Monty, the Flash.
Jeez. That's for October?
October, yeah. We could do the spoiler for November if you guys want. And there's going to be a 2023 calendar.
I'm going to probably guess that it's stupid Aaron for November.
And I figured, he got November this year. Maybe you could have November next year.
I think that would be great, since
I think that's only fair.
My birthday's before his, and I'm older. I should have gotten it this year, but
I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but either way, we're gonna put out a new calendar. But yeah, it's just been a been a cool thing. Who would have thought that growing a beard would lead to so many cool friends and opportunities?
I would have. Sorry. I know
Yes,
you're
you would have.
trying to be
I
like
guess I didn't.
rhetorical.
Being a guy that lives in a population, I graduated 34 people in my class. It's kind of a cool segue because honestly, what created beard laws is kind of what No Shave November is really all about: raising awareness for cancer. That's what beard laws started, was raising money to donate to TVs to a cancer center, because my little brother was fighting and beat cancer a couple of times and had to upgrade, had to do what I knew how to do, and that's how it started, and
Yeah.
kind of come full circle. I'm back on the Talking Beards, and we get to
Wow.
talk about that.
That is funny because now, yeah, that is a good segue. But yeah, I remember like when we had you on the first time, it was to help you raise money to get more TVs for the hospital was it the chemo
Yeah,
wing?
the cancer treatment center. Yep.
Yeah. So he ended up raising enough money to buy 136 25 feet plasma TVs that they hung on the something like that. I
Yep,
don't
something like
remember.
that. It was pretty close. Yep.
Pretty close to that. But yeah, just it's so weird how like all it's fortuitous like that it all just kind of comes together the way it does. That is a big word.
Huge word.
But
I like
yeah, I
it.
mean it's definitely cool how like it all just kind of like and not even thinking about like, that story and how it leads into, cancer and then how it leads into No Shave November. But the fact that, I'm talking to Aaron yesterday and he's like, yeah, I'm going to be driving and, it's going to be difficult for me to do the show. So I'm like, well, of course, always my go-to guy, if I do a show by myself, is always Matt. And it's been a while since I've done a show. And so I reached out to him this morning and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Uh, Jason's here. Jason Hein. But yeah, so I asked him, I reached out, I'm like, hey, and he's like, well, what are we going to talk about? And I was like, oh, you know what? I don't know. We'll talk about news or something. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I'd really like to do something about No Shave November. I mean, I know we've kind of always touched upon it, but and then now that we're discussing, your first time on and realizing that, yeah, there was ties into all of this and just how one big full circle that we come back together on this night and we have this discussion about this, because
Wild, right?
yeah, definitely. So you say like No Shave November, definitely is it's an important time of year for cancer awareness. I mean, just as every month it has a different thing or a different theme for a different awareness thing, like October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I believe.
Yep.
Wear your pink. So
Yep.
speaking of coaching kids and stuff, did the kids wear pink for games and stuff? Did they wear pink socks or wristbands and stuff? Because
Not at the level that I'm coaching, because it's like fourth graders and stuff. And to be honest, I didn't really want to get into the conversation of the whole like breast cancer stuff at that age with fourth grade girls.
Yeah, you guys start them young, man.
Yeah, but I don't really want to be that guy when they go home and be like, Coach Matt taught us about breast cancer, man. I'm like,
He just said to wear pink socks.
yeah, but there's a lot of at least where we are, there's a lot of programs and stuff that they wear the warm-up jerseys or the pink socks and stuff like that. So it's a pretty cool thing for sure.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, no shave November. As we'll dive into this and basically what I wanted to do was I kind of wanted to just have a basic discussion about No Shave November and kind of give everyone a little brief history of what I discovered about No Shave November. And then I wanted to bring Matt in and kind of talk with him because he's definitely he's got a beautiful beard. He knows a lot about products. He knows a lot about the science behind it, and he definitely knows how to grow a good beard. So I thought it would be really cool to have him here with us as we talk about No Shave November, and then kind of talk about like if you are getting ready to start this journey, some tips or tricks about trying to grow a good beard. And then if you decide to go into December beard, how you can maintain and grow something thick and luxurious like our beards. Let's see. Chicken Wing says he wears pink every day in October. So Christopher Wilson's here. He says, bearding has opened up my life to the possibilities of helping people and giving back. It has truly been a blessing in Corey and my lives. That's
awesome.
Great to hear. But yeah, so with No Shave November, it's basically a cancer awareness for all different types of cancers in men, mostly like colon cancer, prostate cancer. Those are kind of close with each other.
Yep.
And everything. And back in 2007, Matthew Hill, based out of a man outside of Chicago, had passed away from colon cancer. And
hello, Moto.
Jeez, I knew better than that. I was like, I should put my phone on vibrate. But
I'm going to start on my podcast. I'm going to have somebody. I'm going to put the ringer on so they call me all the time and be like, "Oh, sorry, I'm kind of important."
Yeah,
I think it's a swag factor.
Oh, I know. Well, I'm working on this new system, but I'll get into that later because we're just getting into this. But yeah, so in 2007, Matthew Hill passed away from colon cancer, and his family started this whole thing, the No Shave November, which if we go to No Shave, what is the website? no-shave.com. How about no-shave.org? Because it's an organization.
Yep.
Yeah. So they started this movement where since people who generally have cancer usually have to go through treatments and stuff like that, and they go through chemo or whatever, they lose their hair. And it was kind of paying homage to that and like letting your hair grow and to show support of those people and everything. And basically what it was they decided that, for the whole month of November, they were going to stop shaving, and all the money that they saved on either razors, shaving cream, haircuts. I mean, because some, like, for instance, like me, I use razors and I shave my head. And you did for a bit too, didn't you?
Yeah, this is honestly only like 2.5 weeks.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna shave it again. Yeah.
But so basically what we're supposed to do is after that month, you're supposed to take all that money that you saved up and you're supposed to donate it to a different type of, or a cancer-based research center that to kind of help them use the money to advance research and stuff like that. Yep. So basically they started this, his daughter-in-law started this whole thing, this foundation, the No Shave November thing. And if you just go to, like I said, that website, there'll be a link in here. There's a little about here. And if you want, you can read the story. But yeah, in 2009, the Chicago-based Hill family decided to reinvent the activity of not shaving to raise money for charity. This project held special meaning in the 8 Hill children after their father, Matthew Hill, passed away from colon cancer in November of 2007. And basically it explains that, ditching it says right here, ditching their razors and more to donate to cancer fighting foundations. It started from a few Facebook followers donating their money, and to date, which I believe, according to the financial statements, which are on this website, which is really cool, they kind of do a really good breakdown of how much of the funds go to all the different things. But they've raised over $10 million, which is really, really amazing. And it's kind of really grown into something that's just crazy. I mean, it's everywhere. Just as much as the Movember, which that was started in, I believe, 2003, 2004, which that's a mustache growing thing started by a group of guys in Australia, which I believe, if I remember, as I was researching this and I was kind of just bouncing back and forth about things, but mental health awareness, which is another huge thing in December too, which Movember really, we did an interview, Aaron and I did, with the Jaga County Suicide Prevention Coalition a couple of years ago, I'll post a link to that video in the thing if you guys are interested in checking out more information about that and what we talked about. But yeah, the whole No Shave November thing, it's just kind of grown and grown and grown over the years. And there's different ways you can, I mean, you can just, if you want, you just go about doing it and just find your own kind of thing. Or you can, if you go to this website, they have a participation thing where you basically you go to the participate and then you register to participate. So we'll kind of show you what this is, and you enter your all your basic information. Oh, of course.
Ooh,
Critical error on this website.
it's critical. There's a good question too that Chicken Wing X said. Correct me if I'm wrong. No Shave November is for prostate cancer. It's mainly for prostate and testicular cancer, as far as I know. Kind of the two most common cancers among men is why I think they kind of targeted those. But like you said earlier, it kind of is an awareness, just kind of about all cancer patients. Especially in men, because like I said, throughout the process, you do lose not only your hair and your face, your facial hair. So.
Yeah, and well, the Matthew died of colon cancer, so that's
Yep.
when they originally started this whole thing. But anyways, if you do sign up on the No Shave November website, there's 13 different nonprofit organizations that you can, as you go through the month, and then you make your donation at the end of the month, that you can select. You can pick any one of these that you would like to donate to, and they're all cancer. They're testicular cancer, as you see there, Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation,
Yep, lung cancer,
National
kidney cancer.
LGBT Cancer Network. There's a couple children ones there, and there's all different types of resources. If you want to help them out, you can support at no-shave.org. You can email them. And in fact, I was thinking about this as I was researching this. I think I'm going to send an email and see if we can get one of their representatives on the show to kind of talk. I think that would be really interesting because, like I said, as I was researching this over, the little bit before the show, there was really a lot about it that I did not know. And like I said, I knew about Movember, and of course, about No Shave November because you hear about it all the time.
Yep.
But yeah, it was just cool, and it would be great to get someone on the show that could, talk a little bit about it.
Isn't it kind of weird? And maybe it's just me, but kind of growing up, the two of them kind of blended together. You know what I mean? Obviously, the Movember started seeing a lot of mustaches, and for me, it's you see the No Shave November, but there's still a handful of people that still support the Movember, which obviously is a good cause too. The No Shave November, and I feel like they blended together. Quite well, I think.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And as like I said during my research, the two were often paired a lot in all the articles that I was reading. It was November being Movember and No Shave November, and both of them, basically attacking men's needs,
Yep.
between mental health and cancer awareness. And as Chicken Wing says, being 50, I had a first exam not long ago. It was not pleasant. Yeah. Of course, getting your prostate exam is an important thing once you get older, and a colonoscopy, which I've heard different stories about that recently about really it not being that important, but we're not doctors here. So this is just something I heard. And
Yeah. And I can tell you, witnessing firsthand from several people, the alternative of sitting in those chairs, getting the treatments, that's much worse than the couple of pain of getting, the prostate checked, or some people call it getting your oil checked.
Your oil. That's what Aaron would probably call it.
Yeah.
I get my oil checked. But so with the foundation and all that aside, now let's start talking a little bit about these. If you're watching, and as we say, this show is Talking Beards, and we tend to facilitate and go for people who have big beards already and who are in the competitive lifestyle that we are, or who are interested in having large and big beards and do competitive things. But also we do find a lot of people that just pop in here who are interested in the whole bearded facial hair lifestyle. And we do even get people that watch who don't have facial hair. And also we have a lot of women that watch the show too. And
Yep.
No Shave November also applies to them as well, because they also can throw the razor away and they can let their leg hair grow for the month of November. And they can also donate towards any of these great funds. In fact, they encourage the women to also participate in No Shave November and join their significant males or females. If both of you girls want to not shave your legs for the month of November and move along, hey, that's, it's anything you can do to help. But anyways, getting back to that and talking about people who don't have beards, and what kind of things would you suggest to someone who's thinking about, like, all right, I'm going to get ready to grow my first beard, or I'm going to start growing my beard? What kind of tips, what would your beginning tips be to someone who's getting ready to do this, to help guide them along the right path?
Yeah, one thing too is, I think, just because I'll kind of segue from what you said, a lot of people kind of, think, hey, it's a beard competition. It can only be a big beard. It can be a freestyle beard that's wild and crazy. But, there's beard levels for everything. If you're a new beard, maybe you're saying, hey, I'm going to put the razor away for November or Movember and grow a mustache. There's different lengths for it. You know what I mean? You can have a business style beard and still be a part of a competition, which still goes to charity. You can check those all out in the beard calendar. So I think that's something, to consider, which I think that's one of the biggest things when I talk to people, is they kind of forget that you don't have to have a huge beard or a huge goatee or anything to be a part of these competitions.
Yeah.
And still help some people. So I think that's there. But, products, I honestly think proper products and a great routine is a huge thing. And if you're trying to get as much growth, because I've seen a lot of competitions where, they say, all right, clean shaven on the first, put it away. And then at the end of the month, we're going to see the better growth. Hydration is not only good for your body, but it's good for your facial hair. And I think you can attest to that too. The more water you drink, and obviously, less soda, less sugary, less beer, liquor, stuff like that actually makes your beard. There we go.
Yep. Nail on the head. Lots of water and find a good quality oil.
Lots of oil. Yeah.
Not motor oil.
In some oils, in products, they don't work for every beard. You know what I mean? You could try an oil and you could still feel that you're itchy, you're dry, and everything. And I think that's the biggest thing why people shave a beard, is the itchy stage.
Yes.
And I've seen a lot of people throughout, what I've done on social media, where they shave their beard, and there's nothing worse to me than seeing a beard being shaved, but underneath that beard is just nothing but dryness and just that beard druff and just nastiness underneath, which could be, cured with a good product, with a good routine. Because you could have the best product in the world, but if you overuse it and you're not using it properly, it's going to start to get buildup. And honestly, one of the biggest things for me that I've learned is using a product that's actually going to occasionally strip the products from your beard. I've seen a lot of people that don't use a proper, whether it be a shampoo, soap, or conditioner, and they just continue to put the oil on and the butter on, and it just builds up throughout a week or a month, but they're not using something that strips it properly, and it just builds up, and it's actually terrible for the hair itself and the skin underneath.
Yeah. Well, and I know you as well as I have had the luxury of being given and sent like tons and tons and tons of different products to try out. So
Yep.
we have the luxury of knowing what works, what doesn't work, what is agitating the skin, what, just all the different things. But when you start growing your beard, like say, for instance, No Shave November, you start growing it, and probably by the end of the month, you're going to be at a point where if you're not properly taking care of it, it's going to be super dry. It's going to be super itchy, and you're going to want to definitely cut it off, because it's just like, you can't handle it anymore. And your t-shirt's going to have the beard druff all over it and stuff like that. But one of my big tips though, and I know I can attest, Aaron, would say the same exact thing. Is make sure you have a good diet. I mean, your diet is what you put in your body and what comes out of it being your hair. It's a major thing. It's just like as if you're working out. You're not going to gain muscle unless you're putting the right fuel into your body. You can work out all day long, but if you're not eating right, it's not going to put the right fuel and transfer the proteins and all that stuff properly and stuff like that. So it's the same with the facial hair. You got to eat right, and it comes out of your hair follicles the right way.
Yeah, and let me ask you this: you've been to many beard competitions, and this isn't at anybody, but I've found seeing beards in the wild, as I say, seeing a beard that just doesn't look great. It's 90% of the time they don't have a great diet. There's not enough proper products using them properly, a routine. But like you said, with that diet and stuff, I mean, I'm sure you've seen at competitions the potential of a great beard that just doesn't look as good as it could.
Yeah.
Probably because the diet isn't great. And they could be using the best products in the world. Like you said, I truly think, the health of your beard kind of correlates with the health of you and your body.
Well, and it's all about using products properly too.
Yep.
Like I have here, I have a beard balm. Now, the beard balm is, I mean, say if you were just starting to, well, we'll do it the proper way. You got your beard oil.
Yep.
So this is something that you're going to want to put on your skin because it's going to help. It's going to help with your skin, but you don't want to be putting so much on your skin. It can drown your skin and that's not good. You just want to put a little bit on your skin just to kind of keep it hydrated and stuff. And that's a lot of where like the beard dandruff comes from is, well, it comes from a few different things, but that's one of them is, your skin being dry and stuff like that. And once your hair starts growing, it dries it out more because it's like sucking more hydration out of your skin and it's leaving it dry.
Hence the drinking more water too. It's kind of like, if you were to stop watering a plant or you don't give a plant enough water that it calls for, the roots are eventually going to die. If you're not giving your body enough water, then obviously the hair and the roots and everything is just going to, the end of it's just, a flower's never going to bloom if you don't water it. And same with your body.
And as you start growing, as your hair starts growing out, you definitely want to use a beard balm because that's going to hydrate your hair on the outside. And granted, it'll hydrate your skin a little bit, but the oil is definitely the best thing for that.
Yeah.
And the beard balm is definitely great for hydrating your hair as it's getting longer, and it's going to definitely give it a nicer look. It's going to give it a good hold. But we're also talking about short beards here, things that are like weeks old to a month old to a couple of months old. And we're trying to basically nurture these people into going past November. We want them to go to December. We want them to grow for months. We want them to have a big, nice, luxurious beard, just like Matt or like me, whatever style they choose. But, it's like, here we go. Patrick, our good friend Patrick Dawson says, like JP once said, healthy body, healthy beard.
And I think one of the biggest things that at least a couple of posts that I've done that's really helped a lot of people is the shaving of the neck. I mean, one of the biggest mistakes if you're going to try to grow a bigger beard is to continue to try to have a neckline as you would if you had a shorter kind of business style beard. And one thing Scott even told me, last year at the competitions is you still have to have a good definition. I mean, depending on the look you're going for, you don't maybe want it, the neck hair to come out and, connect to your ear hair. But at the side, at least side profile, you at least want, the definition to be nice and trimmed. But underneath, I personally think, and I think you would agree with me, like I don't touch underneath it. It's going to help with the density, the look of it and everything. And let's be honest, it's easier not to shave under there.
Yeah. Well, and then the next step to this whole thing too is another maintenance side where, all right, so you're putting these oils on your skin, you're putting the balms in your beard, and it's just building up. And like Chicken Wing says here, he says, I found for myself not washing my beard for a few days and letting your natural oil do its job works. That's another thing too, is if you have naturally oily skin, you're not going to really worry. I mean, I do. I have naturally oily skin. So like I
Yeah.
don't tend to use, or I haven't in the past tend to use a lot of beard oil because it's too much. And then your beard just kind of gets like weighed down. And we got John Abraham here. He's got a beautiful goatee. Good to
He
see
does
him.
too. I mean, and at the kind of the segue from that, I mean, having the beard of my size, I don't use more than a dime size ever for oil for me. You know what I mean? And I've seen some people that feel like they need to almost use, when beard oils have a dropper, they feel like they need to use a whole dropper, and they're filling. It's almost like they're filling a hand and then trying to use it on the skin underneath. Where me, a dime size really does the work for me.
All right. So balm hydrates, Danny. Now, all right. So like we were talking,
Good question.
oil hydrates your skin and the balm will hydrate your hair. It also is great for hold. It'll help train your hair. So like, say for instance, I always noticed like when my hair was a little bit shoulder, yeah, as John says, balm is like a leave-in conditioner. That's another good way to
It's going to
explain
give
it.
it that nice shine. It's going to kind of replenish the dryness of the beard itself. But like you said, yeah, absolutely oil on the skin, not too much. And the hold in the train is a great point you just made.
Yeah, and I notice like when you're usually growing your beard at the beginning, like you'll like even with your hair, like it grows like all different directions and stuff like that. And as it's starting to get long, it's all kind of gonna go like all different ways and stuff like that. So the balm's like really good to like get in there, and then if you use a like a soft bristle brush, especially when it's short, and you can just help and train it and everything. But
Yep.
John's going to talk about cleaning, and this is a good part because you definitely want to find some sort of soap that's going to strip all those oils out. I mean,
Yep.
that's one of the biggest things because you don't want to use a regular shampoo that you use on your head because that's your scalp is a different monster than your skin on your face. It'll
Mhm.
dry it out really bad, and that's not good for your skin.
Yep.
But John writes, I do a cleansing on my beard on occasion that helps whiten mine and strips a lot of excess crap out. But then you need to
Not
do it.
actual crap.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. Not
Well, who
actual
knows
crap.
with him? But and then you coconut oil overnight to help rehydrate. Yeah. So one thing that really good to use if you really want to strip all the oil and crap out of your beard is apple cider vinegar with mother. The mother is going to like really uh just kind of and the thing is when you do it the first time your beard's going to feel like straw. It gets so dry and it just feels like disgusting. And then that's when you're going to want to use the combination of the oil and the balm to like rehydrate it to get it back healthy and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, as John writes, he goes equal parts distilled water, apple cider vinegar, and baking soda.
Yep. And I think it's important too, just to kind of, throw this back out there. It's not something that you want to use to strip too often because it will cause some damage to the beard. You know what I mean? Find a happy medium that works for you. Maybe, once a week, maybe it's once a month. It depends on, if you have, and I think too, if you have a proper routine, then you don't overdo it and you don't need to strip it as much.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it too is trial and error. Like it's taken me years to like really figure like I'd wash my beard every day, not knowing, and it just looked like crap.
Yep.
Then I would go like once a week and yeah, it was better, but realizing that maybe every 2 to 3 days I'll use a soap and a natural soap that does it good. And then I make sure that I put balm in my beard
Yep.
and it's good. I mean, obviously what I've been doing with my beard for years has helped me win plenty of national championships. So I obviously I'm doing something right. So I
Yep.
guess if anyone want to look at, I mean, even Matt too, like if you want to, I mean, we can give you our resumes and and that should say a lot about, we kind of know a thing or two about how to grow beards, as well as a lot of these people that are in the chat room with us, because there are a lot of them are world champions, national champions. I mean, these guys know what and how to do it.
Yeah, you're getting beard advice from some of the best, not in the nation, but in the world. So, like Danny said, he's always been trying to stay away from the bomb. Was told it dries it out. He came in here, heard from national champions, world champions, the right way to do things. And you made a really good point. Just because it works for me, like my routine, might not work for you. Like the best thing is, you kind of have to do trial and error, like you said.
Yeah.
Every beard is different, I believe, and every face is different. So and some products might work fantastic for me, but they might not work for you. They might not work for, Danny or John or Andrew,
It's your personal chemistry too. I mean,
Yep.
that's basically what it boils down to. But Matt, I know you have beard laws at 8:00. We
Wow,
have
it's almost that time already. Wow.
10 minutes left. So I know you need to get out of here. I greatly appreciate you stopping in. Everyone go check Matt out at beardlaws.com. Tell us about your shows so people know when to tune in.
Yeah, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Thursday, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Beard Laws YouTube, Facebook. We're on LinkedIn now. I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently it's cool to be on there. But yeah, if you guys want to check it out, nothing like this. It's not educational. It's not as amazing as a couple of beards doing what they do. But make sure you check out the beard calendar and, continue to check these guys out as well. But yeah, we just do some fun shows. And tonight's TikTok Tuesday. If you want to just sit back and enjoy some
And
people
laugh.
doing some dumb stuff on the Tickety Talk, we're going to show it and we're going to react to it. We're going to probably make fun of them. So
Awesome.
But yeah, that's what we do, and I can't thank you enough, man. It's been too long. We'll catch up, and obviously, Aaron, Natalie, travel safe, and man, it's good to see some of these awesome faces, and can't see the faces, but all the comments from some amazing people in the chat. It's been too long.
Well, we'll have you back sooner than later. I really miss you, Matt. I love you. I appreciate you. You are an awesome guy, and I wish you the best. And we will have you back as soon as possible. So I'd just start a whole new show.
Okay. I appreciate it, man. Love you too, and I still catch up on the shows, man. You guys are doing it right. You guys are doing it awesome, and you guys are a huge inspiration to me. So, thanks for all you do for the beard world and me personally. I appreciate it, man.
All right, thanks, Matt. You have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. Take care, man.
All right, peace out. All right, everyone. So now I'm holding down the fort by myself here, but all right. So we'll get back into this chat room here because as we were talking about different things, here John writes, anyone can grow a beard. I don't know. I didn't use products for the first year or two. No issues growing them. I was the same way. But let me tell you, products make your beard healthy and soft. And that is a big thing too, is you can just beginning in November, if you're going to go for No Shave November, you can just grow. I mean, you don't need to mess around with products and stuff like that. That's really up to you. If you want it to look a little nicer and be more manageable, then I would suggest using an oil and a balm combination. And speaking of which, because I totally forgot to do this at the beginning of the show, but once again, you're watching Talking Beards, and I don't have Aaron with me, but if you guys are looking for a good product, something that I myself swear by and Aaron swears by too, Honest Amish. If you go to honestamish.com and as you're going through and checking out all this stuff, and you load your card up, use promo code Talking Beards and you'll get 15% off your order. And also, why will I have your guys' attention too? Honest Amish is going to be doing a No Shave November beard contest. We've done it before. In fact, I think I got first place in goatee or something. I don't remember. Last year or 2 years ago. But anyways, they're going to have a bunch of different categories. Of course, number one, goatee. The staff pick full beard chops, Santa mustache whaler, women's creative, men's creative, best overall. And so basically what you guys want to do is you're going to submit a picture. You're going to email it right to Aaron. And you're going to include your name, address, category in the email. And the contest begins November 1st. So, and we're going to have some really great hoodie. Oh my gosh. You don't know what I did to try to get that company to make hoodies. It's been like pulling teeth for years. But finally, they're making some some hoodies over there at Honest Amish, and yeah, some really great prizes and stuff. So starting November 1st, you're going to want to we'll be promoting this the whole up till November and all through November till the very end. And then we'll talk about it probably the beginning of December when they announce all the winners and everything. But yeah, just like I said, just go to honestamish.com, use promo code Talking Beards. But yeah, John says start with small amounts of oil and balm, and you just add more if you need it. Definitely, like I said, you don't need to have beard balm or oil when you're first starting out, like for your first month. But once it starts getting a little bit of length, you're definitely you want to train it. If you have like a lot of weird hair growth on your face and it's growing this way and that way, it's only going to help train it. And once you use a brush in there, you're going to get it all to start going the ways you want it to. Let's see what else is going on in here. Forrest, he writes, yeah, Forrest wants to know what's mother. Chicken wants to know what's mother. Mother is, it's like I want to say like the rind of the apple. It's like when you look at like apple cider vinegar, there's like a lot of floaty stuff in there. That's what mother is. That's one of the things that is the real good activating factor in stripping out all this stuff in your beard. You can also find that in a lot of natural beard shampoos and stuff like that. Definitely you want to use something natural that's all natural, that doesn't have any parabens or sulfates in it. Generally, the shampoo you use on your head is not good for your beard, so try to stay away from that. As for products, like we said, there's tons of different products out there. Of course, we endorse and use Honest Amish, but there are tons and tons of different brands of stuff out there. You can go to Walmart and pick up stuff there. Target has their own stuff. But once again, please just make sure that anything that you buy, it's all natural. Probably, I'm just going to throw a statistic out there, but probably 90% of the things that you're going to buy at any of these stores has tons of different chemicals in it and are not natural. So try to stick with the more natural things because those are going to be the best things for your body. Just as you're eating food, you want to try to eat as much natural things as you can and put as many natural things into your body because it just translates into a better beard and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so that's about it for No Shave November talk and trying to prepare everyone for No Shave November. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at talkingbeards1@gmail.com. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram at Scott Sykora. You can go check us out at talkingbeards.com. You can watch the show live over there. You can check out, actually, we have, I'm trying to see, I had a couple things lined up in here. October beard and mustache competitions. If you go over to our YouTube page, look for this. And Aaron and I do a discussion of all the events that are coming up in October. So we're already halfway through the month. We have a couple coming up at the end of the month and over this weekend and everything. So make sure you check that out if you want to know a little bit more about what's going on. If you want to know exact dates on anything, go to thebeardcalendar.com. If you have an event that you want to promote, such as a bowling event next year, just go there. A little pop-up menu will appear in the bottom corner, and that's where you submit your event and everything. And that's about it. So we're going to wind up now, and next week Aaron will be back. Hopefully, the Mounties let him go out of the Canadian border, and they didn't make him sit there and drink all of his maple syrup before he came over the border. So he'd probably have a hurt tummy. But thank you everyone for checking the show out tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Matt, for helping out tonight and giving us good insight on good ways to take care of your beard and to start growing a beard and all that stuff. And Chicken Wing says, good educational show. Have a great night, Scott. Chicken Wing, you have a good night. Cavity searches for everyone, says Christopher Wilson. But Thank you, everyone, for checking out the show tonight, talkingbeards.com. And that's it for us for tonight. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Talking Beards. Make sure you go over to honestamish.com and use promo code TalkingBeards to get 15% off your order. Don't forget to tune in live next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern at talkingbeards.com.